flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to welcome you to the July 8th council meeting. The Open Meetings Act are posted over there on the wall. Is there any comments by the public?
I'd like to make comment.
Okay.
Hi, Joe McCarn with the Chamber. And I did want to just invite everybody to our small business social that we're doing next Thursday from 4 to 6 at the Elks. Get some free hors d'oeuvres and some free alcohol and some great networking. So everybody's invited to it, not just Chamber members. Anybody can come. We want all of you there. So Blue Cross Blue Shield's footing the bill for it. So it's a good time to bring corporate sponsorship to Cheyenne County. So, and I don't know if you noticed Sweet Ice. I stopped by their new building on the way here, and they're planning a soft opening on Thursday. So they do have dirty soda, which is awesome. But just so you know, we'll be doing a ribbon cutting there next Friday, not this coming Friday, but the following Friday at noon. And then we will be having a VIP event specifically for business leaders and you guys. To be determined on what the date's going to be. But that will be coming up pretty quick as well. So, Sweet Ice is one of my favorite places. So good dirty soda. And good shaved ice.
Could I have one of those?
One of these?
No.
Approval of the June 24th, 25 meeting minutes.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Kirkman?
Yes.
Coons?
Yes.
Barnhart?
Yes.
Redcliffe?
Abstain.
Yep. Time for the reorganization of city council.
We need to rearrange this order, though, I think.
We do. So as the bullet points read, let's go ahead and, Mayor Bondegard, go ahead and make your
Thanks, Mayor.
presentation for your proposal for a new council member,
Okay.
and then we'll take a vote.
Okay. I'd like to bring forward Jeremy Lee. Can you step up to the podium? I would like to appoint him for a council. Anybody have any questions for him?
I think we should just start with a nice introduction of who you are so we know who we're kind of voting for here.
My name is Jeremy Lee. I grew up in Dalton for the most part. Moved to Sydney in about 05, 06 area there. Worked for a construction company here in town, so learned a lot about the way that town was built, the way it's worked, and things like that. Spent the last 10 years with Black Hills Energy. I have 3 kids. Oldest is 18, will be 18 in October. Super smart kid there. I guess all my kids are smart. I have a 13-year-old and 8-year-old. My 13-year-old and I, he just started a little landscaping business, so we just started that LLC and everything, so we're getting that going. So we're rooted here in town. We love Sydney, and I guess if I'm voted on, I'm happy to get excited and to get working and working with everybody in town.
So why be a city council person?
You know,
Why do you
I
think
like
that's
Sydney.
important?
I love Sydney. I like being here. We've had opportunities to move, and we're just like, you know what, this is where we want to be. If you're going to sit back and complain, you might as well be out front doing something. So I'm open to listen to people. I care what people think. I really do, and I take their opinions seriously. And so with that, I think there's been some people that have confronted me on some stuff and was like, you know what, let's work on it. So that's what I'm excited to do. So, yeah.
Excellent. Does anybody else have any questions?
I don't.
Okay.
So do we need a motion?
Yeah, you need
A motion to appoint Jeremy Lee.
The mayor should not make the motion.
Oh, I was asking. Oh,
He was asking.
I was asking.
Motion to confirm the mayor's
Yeah.
candidate.
I would make a motion to confirm the mayor's choice of Jeremy Lee for the open city council seat.
That's it.
I will second that.
Second by Kirkman, is that right?
Yep.
That is correct.
Coons,
Yes.
Bonnegar,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Kirkman.
Yes. You're in.
Now we gotta do the formality stuff.
Oh, we gotta swear you in. Hold on.
Always waiting
Hold
for
the
the
phone.
swearing in.
You gotta do this part. It's really important.
Jeremy.
And if you mess up on any of the words, it's null and void.
Reading and you repeat after her. And then I'll adjourn. Okay.
Okay, I state your name,
I, Jeremy Lee,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Nebraska
and the Constitution of the State of Nebraska
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear the true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear the true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
and without mental reservation
and without mental reservation
or for purpose of evasion,
or for purpose of evasion,
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform the duties of the position of city council member
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform the duties of the position of the city council member
according to the law and to the best of my ability.
according to the law and to the best of my ability.
And I do further swear,
And I do further swear
and I do not advocate,
that I do not advocate,
nor am I a member
nor am I a member
of any political party or organization
of any political party or organization
that advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States
that advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States
or its state by force or violence,
or of this state by force or violence,
and that during such time as I am in this position,
and that during such time I am in this position,
I will not advocate nor become a member of
I will not advocate nor become a member of
any political party or organization
any political party or organization
that advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States
that advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States
or of this state by force or violence.
or of this state by force or violence.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, very good. Congratulations. Come over here and sign in front of William.
Now we got it. Oh, got it?
Congratulations.
Yeah. Well done.
All right, can you take a seat over here? Yeah, come on up. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
So now you're in, officially.
Awesome.
Okay,
Now we
I will,
power over to you, right?
yeah.
Yeah, she takes
I'll
over.
just officially take over for just a moment.
Okay.
And as I take over, I'm going to ask for nominations for the mayor. Do we have any nominations for the position of mayor?
I'll nominate Brandon Bonnegar.
Second.
Are there any further nominations? Right at this point, let's vote.
Okay. Was by Kirkman and. Who was the second?
Ratcliffe, I think.
Ratcliffe.
Ratcliffe.
Bonnegar,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
You accept that, huh?
Yes.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons.
Yes.
Does Lee get a vote?
Lee.
Just abstain.
I'm sorry, and Jeremy.
Oh, yes.
Okay, the motion is accepted, and our new mayor is Mayor Bondegaard.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Now, I'll hand the power back over to you to open it
Okay.
Nominations for
for the
vice mayor?
vice mayor.
Is there any nominations for vice mayor? I'll nominate Kirkman.
I'll second.
Okay, Radcliffe,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Bonnegaard.
Yes.
Done.
Now, resolution 202507001, downtown parking.
Yeah, just a quick note. I guess it would have been 2 meetings ago now. 2 meetings ago, several people in the public came and spoke to the council, either in favor of the 2-hour parking or in opposition of it. Council listened to everything everybody had to say, and in the end, they had instructed both the city attorney and myself to construct the resolution that you see attached. Now, at the time, I know that we talked about it being an ordinance, and it is. It's the ordinance 424-01, 460-01, and 460-02 that actually allow you to do this by resolution. So it is an ordinance, but it's a resolution that you can do this by, and that's how we've done it in the past. I think the last one we did, we put 2-hour parking in front of the veterans office, I believe was last time we did this, and that was sent in the same way. So that just to clear that up, it is an ordinance, but it's the ordinance that allows you to do it by resolution. So I know last time when we talked about this a month ago, we talked about it just being an ordinance, but that's not the case. So what this does then is creates 2-hour parking between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, excluding holidays. And then we've listed all the streets and how many spots there are in each one, including handicap spots. So that was what the council wanted Kendra and I to bring to you, and so that's what we have on the agenda tonight for you guys to discuss and take action on. So that's it. It's up to you guys.
Have you had any more pushback on it?
Nobody's come and talked to me since that. A month ago, lots of people were talking to me, and those are the ones that came and spoke at the meetings, but nobody else has come forward other than the ones that you've heard from. So, at least to me anyway. I don't know if anybody's talked to you gentlemen about it, but
No, I've heard nothing.
okay.
Anybody out here wants to talk about it, or?
Yeah, I've done a little bit of talking to
Oh, that's
the
right.
public about it and to the business owners downtown. I put out a survey online that anybody could have responded to, and so it's an anonymous survey. I don't know who did respond, but I had around 50 people that responded to it, given their opinion. About half of those people were in favor of a 2-hour window, like what the resolution speaks of. The rest of them were pretty mixed. Probably about 30% of the people said, don't do anything. So very mixed around that. And like I said, one of the questions on there was, are you a downtown business owner? And most everybody said no, they weren't, that responded to that. So that was the public that was responding to that. As I was going around talking to business owners downtown, of course, there's mixed opinions on what the problem really is, and definitely some passion about people parking in front of their buildings and that sort of thing. But as far as a solution, downtown businesses don't think there's a solution yet. They don't think this is the solution, and they do want a solution, but they don't see this as being enforceable by the law, because they don't see that the law has time to do all the research it's going to take to be able to cite somebody for these violations. So that's pretty much what the public is telling me anyway. So
So the ones that I've talked to a little bit about it, just, passing through, some of them just want like a little common courtesy if you are next door, to respect on it, which is understandable. I'm going to say if you go to a hair salon, which I watched a couple of you guys' videos the last couple of weeks, I think if you're the owner of the hair salon, just, say, hey, your appointment's going to be 4 hours long. Would you mind parking around the corner? Work with, if you're a homeowner down there or a landlord, there is parking down there, private parking. There are fixes. I think you could talk to some of the building owners and see whether or not you can rent some of those spots for your people down there so they're not having to park clear away. So my opinion on that.
Do we,
Some Bert?
I will say that since our meeting last month, when I drive downtown, I've been more aware. I've tried to look could I park wherever I wanted to park? The times I've driven down there, I could have found a parking place fairly easily. I'm not saying right in front of the business I wanted to go to. I guess I'm just trying to say, in my opinion, the scope of this problem is not huge. Some people may disagree with me on that, but we're not downtown Denver, okay? You can park within a couple blocks and you're going to be fine. But, so, I realize the 2-hour thing is going to be hard to enforce. We just got to have some cooperation.
anybody else have questions?
I do not.
Do I have a motion to pass resolution 2025071?
All motion.
I'll second.
Lee,
I'm gonna abstain from this one, please.
abstain.
Abstain. Thank you.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Bondegaard,
Yes.
Redcliffe.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0. June budget reports.
Good evening, Council. Kevin Carwin, City Finance Director. Going to jump down into June. Was a pretty good month for us. A lot of things still happening around town. Property tax, DMV up 30.3K from last year, 26.48%. Obviously, a majority is from property tax asking. Sales occupation tax was down 21.3 from last year, or 10.23%, but grew from last month. This is something that, again, we'll continue to track. We are on track for the current budgeted amounts, so as long as everything still has some steadily growth from previous months, I think we'll end where our budgeted amounts are. So obviously with summer months, that hopefully we'll see that peak up a little bit more and get us back into the range where we were last year. So fees for service up 14.4K from last year, or 12.67. The positive obviously being pool and golf being in their full swing of their seasons. So seeing some good productivity there. State, federal, county up 371.5K from last year, or 190.56%. This is obviously a grant for that North Side Park. We did get the first initial half of that grant in this portion, so that's obviously going to sit in as we continue forward with that project. Franchise admin fees down 12.3K from last year, or a negative 82.76%. This is a decline in the TV franchise fee category. My main concern here would be, like, with all the cable cutting going on in the world and everybody switching over to streaming services, there's obviously no way to collect a franchise fee on all of that. So definitely probably have to have some conversations around that. I think it's also a timing thing because we didn't receive a payment into that category. So just a little bit of, background to it there. And then in the other category, up 1.1K to last year, or 22.56. This is just bank interest fluctuating back up. When we look at our year-to-date numbers, obviously everything looks good across the board, with positive signs of growth in revenue for the general fund. So into our breakdown to the departments on a monthly level for June, everyone was positive across the board to finish out the month. So that was definitely a good sign to see. It's taken us a while here this fiscal year to get to this point, but I think all of our department heads have done a great job at leading us back into this, getting us positive, and watching their expenses and how they're continuing forward with the projects that they have going on. When we jump into that year-to-date side, again, we've found that positive realm again. Electric obviously still sitting $1.2 million negative on revenues over expenses. This really leads back to the substation project that we have going on that's budgeted. It'll be a great addition for the city as well. So pretty happy to see that that project will be, pretty well finalizing out here this year, and should be fully up and running here before the end. So might be a little bit of testing as we get towards the end of the fiscal year with it, but that's kind of out on some contractors right now to see how that plays out here for us as residents of the city. So kind of wanted to break down June for our golf and aquatic. So June was a positive month for the golf course year over year, as well as the pool. Golf sitting at a little over $10,000 in positive revenue, and then aquatic is sitting just under $9,000 in positive revenue. So definitely good signs there. And then obviously as we break over to the yearly numbers for them, golf obviously still having a positive year, bringing in $362,000, almost $363,000 on a $306,000 last year, and then pools just behind last year. Obviously, we've had some timing things with weather and openness that we had to push back in the beginning side for pool. So just under last year's $59,812 to this year's revenue at $56,123. So we're seeing good things there that are tracking. Any questions?
Sure. I guess around franchise fees. Okay, so you put the note in there about the TV. So, okay, so folks are choosing streaming services or whatever. But if I look at the trend, and maybe David, you know this more than anybody, as far as budgets go, have we hit the franchise fee yearly budgets in the last couple of years?
Well, when I was finance director, it was broke out separate between
Yeah, so
phone, cell phone. Now cell phone it's
Yeah, so I was going to
mixed
say
together,
with
so-
the franchise fees, we have a couple of different actual revenue line items. So we have just our normal electric, water, sewer, solid waste, TV, gas, telephones, in that realm within those franchise fees. Now, with the city, that's obviously for our proprietary functions. Those are
You know what those are gonna be.
5% of audited revenue is how we get to that franchise fee cost for that function. Now, when we get into like TV and gas, gas is going to be on their contract. It's based off a per therm usage. So obviously in colder winter seasons for Black Hills, there is a fee with how many therms they kick out for the city itself, and then they pay their fee based off of the therm usage overall. Is that kind of making sense? And then TV would be anything that would be infrastructure related. So when we look
Yeah.
at streaming services, it doesn't.
Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to point toward the budgeting of franchise fees and trying to figure out when the last time we got to the budget on franchise fees.
I'd have to go back and
And what we can do.
Yeah, so I can run a report.
Okay.
That should be able to pull that out and get
Okay.
that to you.
Okay.
Tomorrow, if that works.
historically you'll have to put the cell
Yeah.
phone and the phone together because we have them together now. But
Yeah. I mean, I guess you think it should be a fairly predictable number, or there just some, like, again, you mentioned the weather. Okay, well, you can't predict the weather or whatever. And, hey, I guess maybe you can kind of predict that folks are moving away from the, cable TV kind of thing and moving towards streaming services. But I guess I'm just wondering if is there a better mechanism as far as predicting these fees?
I always just tried to use like a weighted average is when I
Yeah.
Yeah.
did it. giving more weight to the most recent years than
Yeah,
historical, but.
okay.
Yeah, I would have to run a report. I can run you something.
Yeah, that's
that would be like
fine.
the last 4 years.
Fine.
Interesting.
Where we've landed with actuals, as well as budgeted amounts.
Good time to
for
ask.
those-
We're
for
working on
those
budgets
years,
now,
so.
so.
Yeah, yeah. So budget season's right around the corner, so, we would
Yep.
take a look at these things, so.
Is there a way to see what other towns are doing too with that? I would think it would be a global, for the most part.
I mean, I could dig into it. I could look at what, like a Scottsbluff or a Gearing or probably McCook or Ogallala would be running into, and report back with you guys or.
Ours are mostly between 3% and 5%, but
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
most
I just want to know if
municipalities
they're
do
if
that.
they're seeing those numbers drop as well.
Oh, sure.
In the grand scheme of things on it. I mean,
Yeah, I think there's a couple people we can reach out to, that'll kind of give us a general idea of where they're trending with those.
Like McCook and cities that are our same size, probably be good ones to call, huh?
Anything else?
Any more questions?
That's all I had for you, Kagan.
Motion to approve the June budget.
Oh, motion.
Second.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Bondegaard,
Yes.
Redcliffe,
Yes.
Lee.
yes.
Now on to the June claims. Mr. Ratcliffe did it.
I did.
Find any problems?
Looked okay to me.
A motion to approve June claims.
Oh, motion.
I'll second.
Coons,
Yes.
Bondegaard,
Yes.
Redcliffe,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Kirkman.
Yes.
Now on to the city manager's report.
I didn't have a whole lot. I wanted to thank everybody that, and Sam did a lot of work on this, so a special thank you to him for putting together our city auction. We got rid of a whole lot of stuff, and we actually did pretty good. Got about $45,000, and honestly, we got $9,000 for our old bookmobile. Who knew, really? I was shocked.
A
by
win's a
that.
win, right?
I was shocked by that one too, so that was kind of cool. And then also wanted to remind council, and especially for the new council member, that the first budget workshop will be July 18th at noon. And I assume we'll probably have something to eat for lunch or whatever. And just to, again, since Jeremy wasn't here when we talked about this last time, we generally do our budget workshop in August, once we know the assessor's numbers and can be more precise about what's going on. The reason we chose to do 2 budget workshops this year is just because Kegan and I and department heads think it's warranted. There's been a lot of legislation that was passed in this last session about how budgets are going to be reported to the state, how they look, how they're going to be formulated, what you can and can't do. They took away the lid limit and enacted a CPI instead, so it's changed things completely with what we've done before, so things might look a little different to you. So we wanted to do one in July and kind of go over some of those things, and then maybe some of the other challenges that we already know exist, rather than waiting until August to talk about it. So anyway, again, just a reminder, that is the July 18th at noon, and I think that's all I had. I didn't have a lot this time, so. Thanks, guys. And welcome, Jeremy. Looking forward to working with you. And thank you for coming to the meeting the other day, too, for this park. Yeah. You're kind of expert about the parks. You've done one of those before, right?
Done one. Budget, and then it says from 3:20 to 7, what the heck?
Lori?
I don't have anything, and I just want to welcome you aboard too, Jeremy.
Appreciate that.
Kendra?
I don't have anything, except I want to welcome Jeremy as well.
Oh, and congratulations, Brandon.
Oh, thanks. Sam?
Nothing, sir.
Autumn? Kagan?
Tonight, you had 25 views and 20 of them are still with us.
Wow.
Pretty popular
Hanging in there
night.
good
That
tonight.
is good.
Thanks to
It's the pretty face.
Jeremy?
Yeah, it's the pretty face.
3-star ratings.
question is Brad Sherman one of them? That's what we need to find.
Should we give his number out?
Yeah.
Dean? Marshall?
Les Schwab is actually gonna happen above the Jennifer Lane.
Yep.
Across from the Fairfield. They've got a couple things they gotta lock down, but aside from that, I've taken in their submittals for the building, so I think it's pretty much a go. O'Reilly Auto Parts, very, very close to CO. I don't have a actual open date yet. 26. Okay, 26, there it is. What did you get?
Up the manager.
Okay, all right. Anyhow, yeah, they're very, very close, and we should be getting them a certificate of occupancy.
Perfect. Josh?
Yep, just make sure with the street department. So next week, we'll start chip sealing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And I just want to thank, there's a lot of other departments that are coming in to help us out with us. We can get that done quickly and get that equipment back. We're not prolonging that and costing us more money on there. Joe with water department also said that they're gonna start flushing hydrants as well too. So we're gonna get probably some calls in with water running, but I planned on getting those flushed out. We did also receive our first power report from Sandhill Solar, and between June 3rd and June 10th, we received 60.8 megawatts, and then June 10th through June 30th, we received another 229.84 megawatts, so a total of 290.64 megawatts in June of power that was generated from solar power. So we're gonna look and see how we got that first invoice from them, but Tom's gonna start keeping track as well too, the invoices coming in from me and WAPA, and comparing that, so those rates should start going down since we're utilizing more of that solar power. So we'll have a better kind of trend average of what the reduced rates are through WAPA and mean kind of what we're generating through the solar power plant too.
Good.
That's it.
Jeremy?
Putting on the spot here, guys.
I guess I kinda
no.
went the other way.
No, I'm good. I just fireworks. I think a lot of people are talking about those, so good job with the fire department on that. So, and it looked like for the most part, you drive around town and everybody cleaned up their stuff. So, I'll be pretty proud about that too. So,
Welcome, Jeremy. That's all I
Thank you.
got tonight.
Brett?
Yeah, welcome, Jeremy. Looking forward to working with you. It's summertime. There's a million things going on. I can't even keep track of it all. But I mean, just generally speaking, anybody that's on a board, a committee, volunteering, just general thanks to all these folks. It's these people that get this town running, right? Like, we have to do a lot of work for ourselves. We can't wait for somebody else to do it. And remember, they're volunteers too, right? So always be kind to these folks, right? And be thankful for everything that they do.
Y'all done?
No, I got a little bit more. Hold on a second.
Hi.
No, I'm kidding. You're up.
Well, I'd like to remind everybody about the nonprofit fair at the end of the month and the social. And this weekend, don't forget about Way Out West's children's performance at the Elks. They've got 54 kids from the ages of 4 to 18 in this program. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's all I got.
Yeah, I want to say, welcome, Jeremy. You'll be a great addition, I think, and, oh, yeah, that's right. We have closed session, so you can't stay here.
All right.
Motion,
A motion to go in closed session, right?
Yes, yep. 6:04.
I'll make the motion to go into closed session.
Second.
Bonnegar,
Yes.
Redcliffe,
yes.
Lee,
yes.
Kirkman.
Yes.
Coons.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.